I mean, the question really is, how do you become a bodybuilder?
When you're around people in the gym, you want to look like that certain person. When you don't look like them, it kind of puts you down a little bit.
There's this instant connection of, I have to look this way to feel X, like I have to look this way to feel happy. I had to choose for myself what's gonna make me happy. And if bodybuilding was that thing, then it's that thing.
I said to myself, you know what, bodybuilding, this is fucking powerful shit. And it can really change people's lives. There we go. There we go. There we go. Awesome. Excellent. Done. Now we need a wide grip pull down.
I remember having some issues with body image, probably like in my middle school years and into high school and on, mainly because I was athletic for a majority of my childhood. I was a lot, I would say, thicker, I guess, than a lot of the traditional Asian girls. My mom, she was very Chinese. She was very Chinese in her values in raising my sister and I. So we had huge like culture clashes in our house. So, you know, my mom always wanted me to be skinny, petite. When I was gaining weight, you know, my family started criticizing me. So they're like, oh, you're getting really big, your legs are getting so big and all this stuff. But at the same time, they're like, eat, eat, eat. So that was really hard for me to overcome. And, you know, I wanted to be me.
Yeah, that's it. Good. I was a small, thin, soft, chubby boy because I did very little exercise as a younger person. You are next to invisible. And for some people, that's maybe, you know, a comfortable thing or safe place to be. But for me, I didn't like at all being invisible. About the age of 15, I was walking in the grocery store with my mom, came upon a magazine stand, and I saw a Flex magazine. On the cover was a pro bodybuilder at that time named Sean Ray.
It's all or none.
And Sean Ray has one of the most amazing physiques ever, symmetrical, proportionate, big and muscular, but at the same time very aesthetic, and that was all inspiring to me. And I realized very quickly how the body would respond to resistance training, and I was hooked. That was it. Awesome.
I get more tired each week, I think. I got pretty good sleep last night, so pretty energized, but you know, we're pushing it in the training. All of my sessions, I train with Pete. He's my coach, he's my boyfriend. But we optimize every training session, so each one is always a battle. It's always a lot of work, but it's fun. It's rewarding in the end.
It's hard for me as the coach sometimes to wear both hats, where I want to be empathetic when she's struggling, either through the prep, in the challenges of the prep, but as a coach, I have to make decisions and then I have to hold her accountable or help her stay accountable to a challenging program. It becomes challenging for me to have to switch hats, if that makes sense. Okay, boyfriend hat, I know you're going through a hard time, I empathize, I'm sorry you're feeling that way. I wish I could take the burden from you. I don't care how much it hurts. I don't care how much you suffer. We have to do more cardio. We have to do this. We have to do that. Well, you don't look terrible. You don't look terrible, no, but you need to be harder. You need to be leaner. I know it's hard work. It's hard work, but you have to do it.
The moment that I realized that bodybuilding and coaching was my true passion was when I met Pete.
That's when I know which hat to wear.
Throw them both away.
I met Emily originally at a bodybuilding show. And when I met her, I thought to myself, well, you know what? She's got a good look. She looks athletic and fit. Came up to a booth that I had been managing as a part of my business and introduced herself. And I said, you know what? You've got a great look. If you continue to work hard, you'll go far in the sport.
There was a part of me that loved bodybuilding as a woman because the girls on stage looked amazing. There's something so beautiful about a woman's physique, but just the lines in a woman's body and the way that you can shape and sculpt a woman is amazing. It actually makes her more feminine than masculine.
Perfect. Good. One more set of pullovers. How'd that feel?
Good.
Good.
So early in my naval career, I got married probably like my first year in. Without kind of sharing like the gory details of that, it really highlighted the fact that I used food as a coping mechanism. So like no matter how athletic I was or how many times I hit the gym, I found that the source of comforting for me was food.
Back when I was young, my early teens, my parents were going through a divorce, and we didn't have a lot of money, so there was a lot of stress in the home, not unlike anybody else. But one of the ways that I actually coped with that was by overeating.
The only times that I would really binge was when like I felt I couldn't control anything. So I would grab, whatever food made me happy, because that would give me this kind of satiating feeling in my stomach that everything was okay and that I was safe.
I think that's where the need for control came from, because I could control what went in my mouth. And so my mom would come home with the groceries every Monday, and when nobody was around, I would sneak into the pantry and I would eat all the peanut butter and all the saltines and all the bread and all the bologna and all the cheese and everything in the fridge and everything in the cupboards. And then feeling like guilty and feeling terrible, I'd run to the bathroom and I would purge.
Some people undereat and some people overeat with stress. It's usually one far side of the spectrum. So if we're talking about folks who overeat, I think often it can give you a physical sensation that's different than how you're feeling. So let's say after divorce, someone's likely feeling a ton of sadness, maybe regret, anger, isolation, right? They're having all these really negative feelings that probably don't feel very good in their body. What's a different body sensation you can have is fullness. With binges, often people feel very out of control emotionally, and so they do something very out of control with food, not on purpose, but sort of as a reaction to how they're feeling. And then what sometimes happens too with binging is someone might try to get rid of those calories or purge somehow through induced vomiting, through taking diuretics, through excessive exercise, things like that.
It really wasn't until I met my boyfriend, Pete, to where we started digging into the psychology behind my binge eating and why I was doing it. Pete and I bonded on that because he used to binge and purge. I've never purged, but he used to do that as well. So we would kind of talk about why we would do it, but why also bodybuilding is a source of relief for us as well.
God, there have been so many magic moments in bodybuilding. In 1996, I competed in the Massachusetts State Championship, and I never thought I would win. I had a really good friend of mine. His name was Anthony, and as he was going through his chemotherapy and struggling along with his own health, I would go to the gym every day and train and do my cardio and stick to my diet, because he would call me and he would say, "You going to the gym? You gonna win that show? Are you going to the gym?" I'd say, "Yeah," and he'd say, "Do it for both of us, because I'm stuck here in this damn hospital. I'm struggling, and I know if you're struggling, I can keep struggling." 14 weeks out from the contest, he passed away. He succumbed to cancer, leukemia. I went into that show with really a clear mind, because I had done everything I could do. I walked on stage and I took home the first place trophy easily, and then the overall. I won it because I did it for a reason. And it was a way for me to kind of heal, and a way for me to honor him. But a way to also show myself how powerful we can be at the same time as we are fragile as hell, and we can be gone at any minute. So it gave me hope that we can impactfully change our lives. It was his influence on my mindset at that time that it was easy. That was Anthony's show. It was really impactful.
Even if you don't love yourself right now, that's okay. But know that you will one day. It just takes work.
It might take a lot of time and a lot of work, but you don't have to sit in a dissatisfied place with your body image. If you're unhappy with the way that you look or you feel about yourself, you can do something about it. And I think that's the beauty of bodybuilding, because it takes you out of feeling stuck, and it gives you a hope.
You don't love your brothers and sisters, you don't love your friends all the time. That's okay. And it doesn't change with you. So the more that you can love yourself, the better you're gonna love your body.
You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, now go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you wanna be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.